Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adewale Kofurola and I am super excited to be here again. This is a channel where we express the mind of Abba Father, what he desires of us per times and seasons. Please do well to subscribe, like our videos, share with your family and friends. Thank you so much for doing that and God bless you. Alright, so today I said something earlier sometimes ago that I'm going to be making videos with people. I'm going to be bringing on topics. I'm going to be inviting people to come speak on those topics. So today I have a guest here and you guys should humbly join me. Welcome the king, Pt1. I know.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming,
always a
sir.
pleasure.
Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure. Thank you for coming. And we are so privileged and happy to have you. We appreciate your accepting our invitation. Thank you very much, sir.
You're always welcome.
All right. So briefly before we start, we would like you to introduce yourself. Want to know you more. Just tell us one or two things about yourself.
Okay. All right. Like you mentioned, I'm Pt1 Ilirioluwase.
Yes.
I know. Since it's a large part of the audience that will be listening to this will be young folks and students, I just recently graduated from Department of Meteorology and Climate Science here in Futa. And yes, I'm a Christian. This is a Christian channel. Yes, a Christian lover of God, a servant of Christ.
Yes, a servant of Christ.
Exactly. So, and I love good music, love watching historical movies, documentaries. Yeah, and I enjoy resting and sleeping at my leisure time at every available opportunity.
Very important.
And I'm also into
actually.
sports too. I do football. Yeah.
All right, Sam. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the privilege. Thank you for that introduction, also. All right. So, before we go, I would like to say one or two things about the topic. So, the topic says that how do I balance academics and spiritual growth and all of that. So, I just want to say something briefly. When I gained admission into the university, before I gained admission, I was doing a lot of things at home. I was into businesses and all of that. So coming to school, and I knew, okay, I'm a believer. I would have responsibilities. I would have commitments as regards fellowship and all of those things. So it became a burden for me, and I was like, God, how do I balance all of these things? I didn't even get to know up until when I entered school that I knew that this workload is big, and I'm this kind of person that even before leaving home, I had already planned. No, it is 5 first class student. So when I got to school, and again coupled with the fact that my cousin actually told me that if I make a first class in my first year, she's going to get me a MacBook and all of that. So I came into school with this big dream. Okay, I'm going to meet her. When I got to school, adding other activities, other responsibilities, and a lot of things, I knew that no, there is much more to you just aspire and all of these things. It takes certain level of work and commitment. So it was actually a struggle for me, and I want you to share your experience. We know you're a graduate. We know that you had a very huge commitment to the fellowship. You had businesses you were doing, you had other things you were doing. So we would just like that you share one or two things about your experience, how you were able to navigate and all of that, because it's actually not easy. It's not easy, sincerely, but then we can actually achieve this because we've seen people achieve it. And if there's this stuff that I saw on Apostle Edu's page earlier, I think last year or something like that. So he said that if you cannot balance school with your spiritual growth, how will you balance your job when you eventually finish school with it? So I think there is a need for us to learn more about this particular topic, because a lot of people are struggling from it. I know a lot of people that are struggling. Is it that one is suffering and the other is striving? But then there's a place whereby both, or even more safe, can thrive at the same time. So I'll be asking you a few questions. I have them here. So my first question says that how do you prioritize your time to ensure balance between your academics and your spiritual growth and other fellowship responsibilities?
Okay. first of all, I would like to state that as a background foundation of mindset, I'm the kind of person that believes that academics, my commitment to spiritual things, like, and especially in a place like RCF where I served.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a students fellowship, and definitely it puts our academic schedule, our student schedule in view.
Yeah.
In the manner of approaching, fixing, fellowship activities and
all of
fellowship
that,
meetings.
yes.
Yeah. So, and I believe that structure alone is perfect and enough, sufficient for me to be able to, like, perform effectively in that aspect, and also do my schoolwork, independent of a clash.
One another.
Yeah, or something clashing one another. I don't believe that that time I'm spending in church would cause a setback
In
in
my
my academics.
academics.
Now we are different, our attention span is quite different, and all of that. Definitely there's some people that need to use longer hours to read and assimilate, but personally I was able to discover that I don't have problems with that. So I don't tie. Yes, this is now the uniform balance. I don't tie my academic setbacks to fellowship commitments.
Yes.
There is fellowship commitments that made me
Yes.
have a setback in academics. I believe that there's a structure you can put in place, proper time management schedule, which is the most important, to put to the academic work, and you will get the required amount of results
That you desire.
Exactly.
I think that's actually very good, because one thing I like about my school is that there's the course we do in 100 level. It is called GNS 101. So they treat a particular topic, time management. So I think the thing still remains that how you are able to manage your time, and not tying your inefficiency in academics to fellowship, because there is always time for, out of 24 hours we spend barely, I think, probably if you're a worker, say maybe 4 hours out of it in church. So when you now say that it is church that actually made you fail, no, you have to figure out where the problem was coming from. I think recently I had quite a number of things. I was doing a lot of things, and I saw that these things are taking my time. I did not tie it to fellowship in that sense. I took time to check the things that are frivolities that I was even using my time to do. So it is expedient that we know where the problem is coming from. There is time for everything, actually. So there are ways whereby we can balance these things. It's just knowing things that are important, giving things priorities as they should be. Thank you so much, sir, for that answer. That was really profound. That was profound, and I'm sure that everyone seeing this video now is learning one or two things. All right, so let's quickly go to the next question. It says that, okay, we want to hear from you. At least we know that it's not going to be as rosy, as simple as it sounds. But then we want to ask that, can you share with us a specific challenge, if you had one, that you faced in school that probably kept you in a tight corner between your academics, and or maybe at some point in time you felt like, oh, this is this, I have to do this, I have to do that maybe kept you in a tight corner, if there are any?
Well, okay, I would say that in 300 level,
Okay.
in 300 level, 300 level was after Corona break now. 300 level was after Corona break. Yes, and in fact, 300 level was Corona. We were in 300 level during the Corona break, if I remember very well. Coming out of the COVID period,
Everybody have relaxed at home.
relaxed. Yes, everybody had relaxed. That one was there. Then also it was the period where I delved into business, digital marketing, simply running ads on Google Ads Manager for products and making the sales as well. I was on doing the customer service role as well, relating to customers, trying to convince them on why to buy, the products. So that took my, and at the foundation of things, you need to, the devote a lot of time.
Yes.
So coming back to school, I was already feeling like a businessman. I was already feeling like someone that what am I doing in this student space? Like God,
It's not giving.
why I should have graduated already, I just focus on making money. So that it kind of took my attention, and it took a while before I could reset.
Back.
Yes, reset back and reboot that. You're back to
still
school.
a student.
Yes, so you're back to school. You're still a student. So that time I had to do a lot of crash reading, towards exam, and it stressed me. I felt sick.
Probably something you're not even used to doing.
Exactly, something I was not used to. I felt sick. I felt sick. Prior to, and it's quite funny. It happens to me a lot that stress pushes out. I might not be sick for so long,
Yes,
but then one
stressed,
major stress like that.
yeah.
It's not like I don't stress like on days.
But
Normally.
it's quite different from what your body system
There's
can
one.
accommodate.
If there's one serious stress that just comes like
Yes.
this, after it there will be a kind of relapse. So that time, oh God, I felt it stressed me. I felt sick towards lecture free week.
Ha.
I didn't do some tests properly and affected. And P1 level is like a determinant year. For you would have heard people say it.
Yes,
It's
yes.
not
It's
a
a very
it's a very
dedicated
valid
level.
it's a very valid point, a very valid fact. Whatever you come out with in P1 level determines how your end will be.
That's the thing.
It can either make you or mar you. One of the two. It's really a passing through fire moment. So that was the only time I would say, I never had any major challenge. Maybe because of my mindset, there was no academic challenge or setback at any point in time. Maybe one test I did not do well, that I tied or I could trace to my spiritual commitment. No, never. It never happened. I would rather pay attention to other aspects that felt like I had lacked. Maybe time management. Oh, I went out to this place. I should have spent more time, doing this. I should have gotten this kind of information. I should have called my classmates, to get clarity on this, to do proper checks. Oh, I didn't take down this note in class. Or I got late to this particular class. Exactly, because there were some classes that there were some lecturers that if you get late to their class, you miss their attendance. And they can do class work, they can do tests in that class, and that's all. You cannot do it again.
Yes.
It is done, and you've lost those marks. So there were other aspects, other grey areas that I identified.
And again, Seth, I just want to buttress on the fact that, see, as spirit beings, it is important that we all understand that it is even the supernatural that guides the physical. So it's high time we get to know that we don't have to segregate these things, and we don't have to do things from our human self. In fact, there is help by the spirit even in your academics. I've seen it times that number for me. So before we take a short break, I just want to ask if you had any experience of how that it was so evident that no, this is the spirit working in my academics for me. Because for me, I have had quite a number of experiences that I knew that no, most times it would be a course that I did not read fully, but maybe I just glanced through and all of that, maybe a particular part of the course that I just glanced through and all of those things. But I get to the exam and I see it, I'm like, God, Holy Spirit, you just have to do this one, you just have to help me. But the fact that I had a prior knowledge of it, I would just ask, please just give me insight, and then it will just come and I will just start writing. And when the result of those particular courses come out, I used to do very well. So I want people to just understand that it is not even advisable for us as believers to keep the spirit out of our academics now. Like, it is important that we know that this is even what can help us, that can make us strive, even aside academics, other things, businesses, other aspects of our lives. It is important that we know that the spirit that helps us to be productive in all these aspects. So you can just share with us maybe a particular experience you had, or anything, or just maybe just an experience at all.
Okay. How will I put it? There have been a lot. You said relating to my academics, and
Yes.
Well. I would say some results. Yes, some results. Now, in what level was that? I think it was 200 level, if I'm correct. No, it was that same 300 level. It was that same 300 level. MTS. I did MTS 309 and 301 first semester. Yeah, that was still that was still that same after Corona. Yeah, was still not after Corona. I think I'm mixing that Corona period time.
Okay.
I'm mixing it up. I can't. I think we came back to start first sem. Oh no, 8 month strike was 400 level. I can't remember, but then I remember this 301, 309 now. Like I did 309 was more complex than
Than
301.
301.
So and
MTS.
the test MTS 301 was, I think MTS 301 test was even CBT. The exam was written. So but 309 written test. So I did 301. I was confident of 301 even before we started 301 when I just saw the syllabus and stuff. But then 309 there was this Fourier series that people had hyped and I woke up and I did before that as in secondary school. I did.
Even me. I ran from it. I don't know.
I did economics. I did economics instead. Like it was just like an escape route, child. I didn't want to add so much tax in it because I did GC, I did YGC, did YG, did NECO as well. So I was like, oh, let me just. I more like I was preparing, okay, to cushion whatever big event. So I didn't do 309. I remember very well that in the exam hall. I think they gave us like maybe 5 questions and had 3 or something. And I don't even think I did. When you add up, I think I just did A, like, and you know, each question will have like A, B, C, D, like that. Maybe I just did A in number 1,
B number 2.
A1 in number 2, A2 in number. Scattered then. God, at some point, when they told us that 30 minutes more, I screamed. I did not know how loud I screamed. I was like, yeah, Oluwa. The departmental guys that were around me, they were like, Papa Kilo Shele. I remember one guy's voice in that example. It was like, Papa Kilo Shele. Like, God. I was like, my God. I could not be. That's the worst exam I wrote in this school. Like that was the worst.
My God.
I was already preparing to carry that course. Honestly. Like, for you to know how shaky the thought of carrying that course was for me. At the end of the semester, I just gather my past questions, or either give them to some of my lower level departmental guys that are in the fellowship, or if I don't see them at the end of the day, I'll just drop it library. I was hesitant to drop my 309 past question because somewhere in my head I was feeling like I will still need it. My God. God. My roommate was like, there was still E that time. I think it was after that time that they now stopped using E. We is still
Hey, goodness.
Good. When the result came out,
Wow.
I passed 309 than 301. That I was confident about. How that I'm sure that they upgraded that score. I'm very, very sure. I'm very sure that that score was not my score. I did not do the test well. I'm very sure that probably maybe plenty people failed. They now pushed people ahead. That's why I was able to enter that C. I had C in both courses. I had C, but then the grade for 309 was more
even
than
greater.
I was even shocked. Normal. If not because of the 309 that I was already overjoyed about myself, I could have called for my results. And I I cannot have C 309. Say, Shay 301, are you whining me? I expected I would have scored more. But then, I don't know.
I just left it, maybe they carry 309.
Woke up, feel like, and when I saw the backlog of people that carried it, I was just saying,
thank you, Jesus.
That was a how this call it, job-breaking moment for me. Really, no, I know that it was definitely divine. that move was definitely divine for
I
my
know.
favor.
I see. I also have something like that, but because of our time, I will not even want to deal
And
with
you know what? That particular account now give me confidence for that
for
ones.
the rest.
That maybe an exam that I feel like normal, you know how I should perform now.
Because when
It
you
could be
get back in,
excellently, but wow, okay. Go back to 301 now. Go back to
the
309
reason
now.
why they share
Yeah,
now,
now.
heck, you are lele is
Forget,
small.
I'll be alright, Joe.
I know, right?
So
Thank you so
yeah,
much for that. Thank you so much for
particular
that.
one.
That was
And
so
I
lit.
prayed about it too. I prayed about it plenty times. As I was at home, coming back to school.
Ọlọ́run ṣàánú mi.
I prayed about it.
Ọlọ́run ṣàánú mi.
I prayed about it. They will say in church, do you have one? It was always top of my prayer
Points.
Every like till I saw the results. So that was a very
That's really good.
good
That's
time.
really good. And sincerely, I can even say it. I can tell anyone. See, until when you start involving the spirit of God in your academics, you don't know what you'll be missing. Me like this, I don't stress. My friends know I don't stress. Sincerely, to party for me, because I can't do this thing. I can't do it. How do you want me to cope? MCS 201. The story for another day. All right, so we're going to be back soon. We're going to take a short break now. Thank you for staying to see so far.